Welcome to your Aligned as Fuck Life podcast, hosted by your girl, Shalvika. I am a life transformation coach, a wife, a cat mom, pure generator, Enneagram 3, Pisces sign, and helping you build an aligned as fuck life is my jam. Out in this world, we believe that there are no set rules for building a life, career, and business. That we are all unique and we should be able to embrace our uniqueness in everything we do while shedding all the rules or bullshit rules one at a time. We will talk all things mindset, manifestation, healing, energetics, rituals, success, and so much more. I believe that I can have it all and you can too. Ready for an episode that will take you one step closer to your aligned as fuck life? Let's get started. Hello, you lovely people, and welcome to the third episode of your Aligned as Fuck Life podcast by Shalvika. So today I'm a little down with slight cold, but of course I wanted to get this out there because what we are going to talk today is so fucking impactful, right? I'm sure you've read the heading or the title of this podcast, which is Toxic Habits to Give Up Today to Become Your Best Self. This podcast episode is actually divided into two parts because, well, there's just so much that I wanted to cover. So for each of the podcast episodes, I kind of sit down and take some notes. And once I was done with the notes for this episode, it just had so many fucking points that I was like, okay, this has gotta be a 2-part episode. So there are so many of us who go like, I'm great at doing so and so, if only I could stop doing this one thing, I know I'm going to change my life for sure. Does this ring a bell? We all have this list of things that we wish we could stop doing for each of us to reach our full potential. And today I wanted to actually touch upon those things that pull us back, because I know a lot of us, especially in this personal growth, personal development, manifestation mindset space, are constantly talking about forming good habits, building good rituals, building positive rituals that help support your growth. But it's also essential for that to happen to stop doing the things that are hampering your growth, right? To stop doing the things that are standing in the way of your growth. And that's what we are going to dive into today, these toxic habits that are stopping you from fulfilling your best potential. Now, before we dive into the actual habits, let's, answer the question, what really are toxic habits, right? They are basically unwanted habits that pull you down. They are habits or rituals that you have that you know you want to quit, but you find it extremely difficult to because, well, you're just so fucking used to that, right? It's become a space of comfort. Even though you know that this habit is detrimental to me, say, for example, binge watching a series on Netflix, or procrastinating, or drinking every weekend, or biting your nails, or scrolling through social media mindlessly, right? You want to quit that, but well, it's so difficult because it's so bloody comfortable. These are any habits or rituals that you do regularly that make you feel guilty. And these are also the habits that sap your energy. They are the habits that you feel drained from so that you don't end up doing the things that you actually wanted to do, right? So let's dive into the first 5 toxic habits that you need to give up today to become your best self. All right. The first one is comparing yourself to others. Well, we live in a world that is driven by Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and the likes, right? So our likes, our comments, our reaches have become extremely important to us and to validate our importance. At the same time, it is extremely difficult not to envy other people's picture perfect lives, right? How many times have you just scrolled through your Instagram feed and gone like, oh my god, she has the perfect dog. I wish my dog was that photogenic. Or wow, that guy is hot. I wish I had that body. Or even look at the size of their house. It is like they are living my dream. When will I get to live my dream? Right? It is so easy, guys, to sit and compare to the highlight reel of other people's lives, because that is what it is. Everyone's Facebook and Instagram feed is just that. It is a highlight reel of their life. It is not their real life. It is not their life where they talk about their challenges, their stories, their struggles, their turmoils. Just because their lives seem perfect does not mean they actually are. Because trust me, each and every one of us is struggling at some level. And that's okay. That's a part of our human experience. We all have our own individual journeys, and the sooner we accept that we get things only when we are ready, the better it is for us. So don't compare yourself to people on social media, because, remember, it's just a fucking highlight reel of their life. They are not sharing the nights that they cry themselves to sleep. They're not sharing the months that they didn't make any money in their business. They're not sharing their struggles with weight loss. They're not sharing their struggles with conceiving, their struggles with relationships, their struggles with finances, and everything else in their lives. They're just sharing highlights. So don't compare. Second toxic habit that's pulling you back is not letting go. That is Gaga, by the way, if you heard a meow in the background. So the second habit is not letting go, right? Do you ever find yourself wondering about all the things that you could have done differently? Thoughts like, oh, I wish I had studied harder. Or damn, I should have paid more attention to my health when I was younger. Or I should not have said that thing in my interview. I'm sure if I had said so and so, I would have made it through, right? There are so many things in life that in hindsight you can regret. And only if you were a little nicer, fitter, hotter, smarter, more mature all those years ago, you feel like life would have been perfect today. Well, firstly, wishing you were different back then is not going to change your present. What's happened is happened. You have no control over your past. You are still going to be the same person that you are today. Wishing that you had done something differently is definitely going to make you feel under the weather. And why would you want to do that to yourself? Because it's really not something that you can change. There are no mistakes. There are only lessons. So if you feel that I wish I could have said so and so in my interview that time, you know what? Take that as a lesson. The next time you're going for an interview, prepare yourself better. Or if you feel like, I wish I had worked out better when I was younger, you know what? It's not too late. Start working out today. Start working out today so that your future self is grateful that, oh my God, thank God that at least at 31, I started to take care of my body better. Right? There is no point in mulling over, in hanging on to what has gone. That's not going to change where you are today. What is in your control is what you do today, what choice you make today, so that defines where your future self lands. The third habit that's standing in your way to becoming your best self is procrastination. This is a toxic habit that a lot of us struggle with, okay? We love to plan to do something, but then we get distracted or have better and more entertaining things to do, or, we have that game that gives us that dopamine hit that doing the actual work is not gonna give, and as a result, we keep putting off what we are actually wanting to do. Let me give you a very different take on this. Procrastinating is taking the easy way out. Whenever you are procrastinating, ask yourself, what is it that I am scared of? What is it that I am running away from? Am I scared of the hard work that needs to be put in this? Am I scared that once I do this work and put it out into the world, I'm going to be judged for it? What fear do I have? Or even, am I scared of the fact that if this work of art or if this piece of work I put out there and it's extremely successful, and then I'm scared that I will not be able to repeat that again? Am I scared of the success of the work that I'm going to put in? Because most procrastination comes from a space of fear, right? And then we start making excuses. We start making excuses about it not being the right time, or it not being the perfect shape and form of time, or perfect time, or perfect circumstances. And that is just you trying to avoid taking responsibility for what you really want to do. All right. Habit number 4. Not forgiving yourself. Now, this is very closely related to not letting go, but this actually talks about your own personal mistakes, right? We all make mistakes. That is a part of being human. Maybe you said something super rude to your brother that time 5 years ago, or you dropped and broke your mom's crockery, or you did not take that job offer which in hindsight you think might have been the best thing to have happened to you, right? But again, what happened in the past stays in the past. You mulling over it and letting it hold you back is not going to affect or change anything. So, anytime you feel that you are blaming yourself for your circumstance, I want you to apply the 5x5 rule. What this means is, ask yourself the question, is this going to matter in 5 years to me? And if it is not going to matter in 5 years of time, don't spend more than 5 minutes upset by it. Okay? Again, if it's not going to matter in 5 years' time, do not spend more than 5 minutes being upset about it. This is the 5x5 rule. Use this to start forgiving yourself. And we are going to talk a little bit more about forgiveness rituals in a future episode. But, till then, start using this 5x5 rule. Trust me, it will change the way you look at your mistakes. And habit number 5 that's holding you back: putting yourself down in front of others. In the name of modesty, or in the name of being, nice and not blowing your own trumpet, we just love putting ourselves down. Phrases like, I suck at doing this. Oh, I am terrible at remembering names. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am such a klutz. I have always been a klutz, right? We all have these sentences that we use as go-to whenever we are embarrassed, or we have made some mistake, or we feel like the other person will look down upon us. And we just feel like by validating the fact that we are no better or we are not enough, it'll make it better. But actually what you are doing is that you are sending those messages constantly to your subconscious mind. When you are constantly telling people that you are not good enough, not graceful enough, not thin enough, not accomplished enough, not organized enough, you are actually repeating these things to your own subconscious. in the process of being modest, you are repeating to yourself the same phrases that are holding you back. Because what you feed to your subconscious mind is going to turn into your beliefs, and your beliefs are going to drive your actions. So when you constantly tell yourself, oh, I am such a klutz, you are going to be a klutz, because that's how your body is going to react. That's what your brain is telling your body to react according to, right? So the next time you catch yourself saying something like that, please, for your own sake, stop yourself. Stop yourself and actually ask, is this statement true? Am I really always a klutz? Like, do I drop things 10 times a day? Or is it just something that happens once in 2-3 months and I have just decided to label myself as a klutz because, well, it saves me from being embarrassed, right? But it is so important to acknowledge where you come from, to acknowledge your strengths rather than putting yourself down. So assess which one you do more of. Do you put yourself down in front of others more, or do you praise your own positive qualities in front of others? And that will tell you a lot about how you perceive yourself. All right, that is it, people. This is the part 1 of toxic habits you need to let go of or to give up today to become your best self. Let me know in the comments if you have any other toxic habits that you feel you are constantly struggling with, and I will see you in the next episode. All right, ciao. Thank you so much for tuning in today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff coming. And if you aren't already following me on social media, come soak up some extra inspiration and send me a hello on Instagram by searching @ShalvikaP. Also tagged in the show notes. I love and adore you so much, and I will talk to you super soon. In the meantime, continue building your most authentic and aligned as fuck life. Ciao!